Okay, so this feels a little bit weird. I don't normally do this stuff, like, videoing myself saying things. It feels pretty strange and exposing and self-indulgent, but the reason I'm actually doing this is because tomorrow it's 1 month to rebellion, 1 month to the start of rebellion, and now there's a truck coming past, which is going to be all noisy. But yeah, there's 1 month to go till the 2020 National Rebellion with Extinction Rebellion, and I've set myself a goal to record and share one little video each day for the month leading up to rebellion. Just doing that because it's something I can do. It's if it just engages one more person in rebellion, in being prepared to face the truth and take some action, then it'll be worth it, because at the end of the day it's a pretty small thing that I can do on top of other things that I'm doing. So each day I'm going to do a little video and share it, and I'm going to say something whilst more cars come past. I'm going to say something about what my head and my heart wants to share about why I rebel, why I'm part of this movement, why as a kind of regular middle-aged, middle-class white woman I'm part of this rebellion movement. So today, for no kind of explicit reason, I just want to share one little story that for me comes back into my mind on a very regular basis and is part of my feelings and heart for why I do what I do. So back in February 2019, when I got a plane coming overhead, this is really appropriate, isn't it? All these fossil fuel vessels going past and going overhead, reminding me more of why I'm doing what I'm doing. But back in February 2019, I don't know if you remember, but there was severe hurricane hitting Mozambique on the coast of Africa, Hurricane Idai, closely followed by Hurricane Kenneth, and that's like 18 months ago now nearly, and it was a huge and severe hurricane that impacted on millions of people, and got a bit of coverage at the time, but who remembers that now? But one of the videos that I remember seeing in one of the bits of coverage was in extreme flooding, people trying to save themselves or their children in extreme flooding, these fast-flowing waters that seemed to go on as far as the eye could see. And there was a little boat, a really small boat, being rowed through these waters or powered through these waters to try to save some people, and there were people just odd people here and there clinging to trees, in the tops of trees, trying to save themselves. And there was a woman in a tree holding a baby, and she threw her baby to the people in this boat to try to save its life before she was probably swept away, and that baby was made an orphan. And I thought in that moment, as a mother, I didn't know that woman. I've never even been to Mozambique, I've never been to Africa. But I thought of the desperation that you'd have to feel as a mother to throw your baby and risk its life in that process into strangers in a boat, in the knowledge that that's all you could do to give it a chance of life. And that image and imagery keeps haunting me on a regular basis. That we, those rich, privileged people in the global north, of which I'm one, have brought that about and exacerbated all of those extreme weather events to create the need for women like her to risk their own life to try to save their babies' lives. And that's disgraceful and shameful that we've done that. So for me to be in this privileged position, to be a middle-class white woman and a mother, to take, in the scheme of things, a little bit of risk, to be part of a movement that gets ridiculed for being too middle class, too crusty, too extremist, too this, too that, to be able to be prepared to take some risk and get arrested and all of that. And yes, we get critiqued for that, but goodness me, that is a small price, a small risk to take for people who have to do things like that, to throw their baby to a boat in the minutes before they themselves get subsumed by those waters. So
You may think I'm being over the top and over emotional, and I'm sorry I've cried, but quite frankly, I think of that image and that video footage on a regular basis, and it's one of the many things that makes me keep going to take what is, in the scheme of things, really small risks, because things are going to get so much worse if we don't take extreme action. And we need to take this huge action, and our governments are not listening. Hardly any governments on earth are listening, and ours in the UK are one of the worst. They pretend they're doing stuff and they're just not. So, please listen. Please either be part of the rebellion or support the rebellion in whatever way you can, because mass civil disobedience makes sense, and it's one of the only things we can do that gives us any hope.